rolling back for this one. Oh, give me that candle.
As my hippie vibes began to reach maximum capacity, I found myself once again tasked with using pseudoscience to predict Smash Bros. DLC characters. And after putting so much energy into my exploration of the curious world of tarot cards and palmistry, boy was I hungry. So just mere days after being told at my annual checkup that my cholesterol is too high, I thought long and hard about my cardiovascular health and decided that atherosclerosis can't hurt me if I'm clogging my arteries with content. Meaning it was time to let the fate of the next Smash Bros. DLC character be decided through everybody's favorite post-meal brain racker, the fortune cookie.
So I ordered arguably too much Chinese food. When I ordered it, I put a little message at the end and I said, could I have extra fortune cookies, please? So I drive there and I pay the lady and she's like, here, you're gonna want to grab the bag from the bottom, it's heavy, you know, I'm a growing boy. And she's like, by the way, there are a shit ton of fortune cookies in there. I would know. I put them in there myself. So at this point, I'm thinking, great. She probably put like 6 or 7 fortune cookies in there. 26 fortune cookies. What the
Funny enough, although the definition of shit ton had evidently been lost on me, I quickly realized that in fact it made for a pretty convenient number in completing the task at hand. One that would make this process a lot more thorough than previously intended.
There are 5 DLC characters, and if there are 26 fortune cookies, then that means 5 fortune cookies for each character, and one little extra one for your boy here. Feel good about it. Put it next to the candle. So, oh, let's get cracking.
And crack, I did. Well, wait, no, not like that. And so, using 5 fortunes for every character, I started cracking into some cookies so I could piece together their fortunes and find a likely candidate that fit all of the descriptors. Starting with character 1.
Oh, that was so unsatisfying. A true friend walks in when the rest of the world walks out. Always be modest and be proud of it. Did this just become a mukbang? A rolling stone gathers no moss. It obtains a certain polish. A new friend helps you break out of an old routine. Any decision you have to make tomorrow is a good decision. I have a theory. At the time of recording this, a game just came out yesterday called Rock of Ages 3. Just growing up, I love the series, and you play as a giant boulder. And let me tell you, if the Rock of Ages boulder became the next DLC, I would nut pebbles. It would be like a kidney stone, but like an endless amount of them. Just like pop rocks spewing.
Alright, enough of that. Anyway, as much as I would love to see the Rock of Ages boulder make its big debut in Smash Bros, I also realized that trying to implement fighting mechanics intended for characters with appendages to a sphere may hold its fair share of difficulties. So if I had to make a more reasonable prediction, the Rolling Stone fortune really does stick out in my mind. And another character that I think works especially well for that is the Prince from Katamari. I'm not exactly sure if he were to get into Smash Bros what he would collect to build his Katamari. Maybe they would implement some sort of system where the more damage the character does, the bigger the Katamari becomes. Honestly, I'm just spitballing here, but I know Sakurai doesn't back down from a character just because they would have some form of different, unique mechanics they would have to implement. And also the pick makes total sense. Like, the entirety of these games are about the King of the Cosmos doing something to screw up the universe, and when all hope is lost, the Prince, who despite literally nobody knowing who he is because he's 5 centimeters tall, always comes in, tries his best, hits him with the clutch save, and then breaks his dad out of trouble so that by, like, tomorrow, Pops can just screw it up again by doing some dumb shit like playing tennis so hard that he rips through the fabric of reality and creates a black hole that wipes out nearly the entire universe. And by the way, that's not an exaggeration, that's just the plot of Beautiful Katamari. So with our first of 5 characters on the board, let's roll into the next set of cookies.
Oh, be mischievous and you will not be lonesome. A golden egg of opportunity falls into your lap this month. Goose from Puss in Boots the movie? Possible. That's a deep cut. Attitudes are the forerunners of conditions. Be magnanimous, be trustful, be hopeful, and be patient. All your sorrows will vanish. Well, that's vague as hell.
Now, once again, this set of fortunes seemed to hold an outlier in my mind, being the second one, referring to a golden egg of opportunity. And look, I understand that these snippets of wisdom are supposed to be metaphors, but I think that the physical imagery interlaced within them can lead to a conclusion that's just as, if not more meaningful. As for what this fortune could refer to, the meme filth of a human within me wanted to think that this was a reference to some sort of chicken character. Maybe a Kuko could round out the Legend of Zelda reps, or a Kickable Chicken from Fable could be included to garner hype for their upcoming title. Perhaps Peck the Chicken from critically acclaimed game Barnyard, based off critically acclaimed film Barnyard. Predecessor to critically acclaimed television series Barnyard would take the stage this time. Possible, but unlikely, as unfortunate as that may be. So, after effectively draining the cockwell that is my knowledge of prominent pop culture poultry, I remembered that chickens are, believe it or not the only animals capable of laying eggs. And in fact, one such character featured in a series of which many of its titles have the player collecting eggs would be everybody's favorite purple gateway into the scaly community, Spyro the Dragon. And this is a character that seems to pop up right next to Rayman and Crash Bandicoot in damn near every DLC wishlist, so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse dragon and explain why this would be a good pick, but I will say that once again this seems to be a fitting choice given the almighty word of the cookie in all its predictive glory, boasting mischief, attitude, and general heroism at the forefront of this character in question's personality. All traits that fire-breathing, skateboarding champion of degeneracy fits quite well. And with that settled, let's move on to character 3.
Action is worry's worst enemy. Aren't you glad you just had a great meal? Wow, I would be pissed if I got that in a fortune cookie. A danger foreseen is half avoided. All that we are is the result of what we have thought.
The next day.
Another day, another 11 fortune cookies. Be considerate of your teachers. So, okay, action is worry's worst enemy. Aren't you glad you just had a great meal? Danger foreseen is half avoided. All that we are is the result of what we thought. Be considerate of your teachers. That's like every anime character ever.
At this point, while briefly considering how to shoehorn Goku into the running despite Sakurai's numerous times confirming that he will never be in Smash Bros, the non-weeb side of my brain stepped in and I was suddenly hit with an axe-wielding, zombie-killing, SFM legend of an epiphany by the name of Coach from Left 4 Dead 2. And admittedly, this game is not the most PG title, but then again, I'm pretty sure Bayonetta has found literally every way to brutally mutilate somebody and done it twice, so I'm not gonna let that get in the way too much because all things considered, Coach makes a lot of sense when you look at what we're working with here. Acting as the unofficial leader of his team of zombie obliterating badasses, Coach is a former high school health teacher who, after watching his hometown get absolutely dunked on by a wave of the undead, decided that he wasn't going to wait around for anyone else to come and save him or his loved ones, and that he was going to fight his way to safety with his own 2 hands. It's also worth noting that this man has literally been quoted as saying, "If I see a zombie running at me with a sample tray, I ain't shooting it." So when it comes to a great meal, this man would literally put his life on the line. In short, Coach's qualifications here speak for themselves, and I think that at the very least, he would make for a very unexpected pick for the next DLC. So we'll slap him on the board and move on with the cookie consumption.
Apply yourself to the basics and progress will follow. I would probably just do this like by myself. Like you don't even need to turn a camera on. Like I would just do this for fun. A clean tie attracts the soup of the day. All your hard work will soon pay off. A great man never ignores the simplicity of a child. All you have is today. There is no such thing as yesterday or tomorrow.
Apply yourself to the basics. Clean tie? The simplicity of a child. Wait a second. Objection! Your Honor, this character is Phoenix goddamn Wright, and I have the evidence to prove it. Damn, is that what it's like to be a lawyer? That felt great. I should try screaming more often. Anyway, for anybody who's paid attention to the speculative side of the Smash Bros community, Phoenix Wright is a name you've probably heard countless times. So for the sake of brevity, let's just quickly explain why it makes sense in the spirit of the cookie and move on through to the final character. As a defense attorney who has exonerated murder suspects ranging from stage magicians to gangsters to orcas, Phoenix Wright has lived a life of absurdity, justice, and a surprising amount of paranormal contact. This passion for the court of law spawned from a life-changing event in his childhood where a friend defended him from his classmates who wrongly accused him of stealing that very same friend's lunch money. From that point on, he vowed to work hard to defend the rights of those who had been wronged by the justice system, and while he certainly faced his fair share of adversities, some even resulting in his temporary resignation from the profession, he would always get back up and never allowed his past mistakes to stop him from moving forward. So, court adjourned, I guess? Character 5.
Okay, final character. A diet is a selection of food that makes someone rich. A difference to be a difference must make a difference. What would happen if somebody just looked through my window right now? Like, they just see a man gorging on dozens, literally 24 fortune cookies. Well, I'll tell you what I think. Always be modest and be proud. A merry heart does good like a medicine. Ooh, baby Dr. Rosalina. Act boldly and unseen forces will come to your aid.
For this final character here, it seemed the fortunes told the story of a kind but bold individual who finds fulfillment in proper dietary practice while also remaining modest in their everyday pursuits. Also, can I just point out that it's astounding that I was given 26 fortune cookies and I only got 1 duplicate fortune? Like, shout out to the Chinese food place I went to because apparently they've got a straight up team of monks in the back room spitting proverb after proverb on the daily. Anyway, back to the fortunes. I think the easiest ones to go off of here are the first one and the fourth one, which emphasize a focus on food and an overwhelming positivity. Two traits that I think would describe no one individual better than the one and only cooking mama. She's the best virtual chef out there with a modesty and a heart to match, and not to mention, she's not just a titan in the culinary industry, but she's also an expert in gardening, crafting, babysitting, and camping. The lady can do it all. I'd also just love to see her beat the ever-loving shit out of the Demon King with a frying pan for burning the souffle. Anyway, that said, with all 5 characters now proposed, it was time for me to wrap things up, but not before I opened up the last cookie and received a fortune of my own.
I feel like the saddest part of all of this is that I'm not at all sick of fortune cookies. Like, I could keep going. Oh! My fortune cookies. This one doesn't have to do with the video at all. This is just for me. As long as you don't sign up for anything new, you'll do fine. A bit of retroactive advice to give to the guy who just tried out tarot cards and palm reading for the first time.
Well, I'm getting possessed by some ancient Chinese demon tonight. Anyway, that's all the cookies, so now all I have to do is select one of these 5 characters I predicted and add them to my official prediction list. And if I have to choose one, I think out of all of the options, the one who best rides the fine line of similarity to their fortunes and likelihood of being added to the game would have to be the man, the myth, the legend, Spyro the Dragon. That golden egg of opportunity line really tipped me over the edge here, and I feel like people have wanted him in Smash since like Melee. And you know, I'm not afraid to say it, I'm a sheep. I'll just follow whatever the hell the general consensus is, so there we go. With 3 official predictions under my belt and 2 to go, join me next time when I show off my laughable lack of knowledge in astrology and use the stars to find out who will be the next Smash Bros DLC. Until next time.